Well, and your new book, of course, you have to keep rewriting every day because of the ongoing insurgency, right? Every day.
I've already changed the title to remove the phrase coming Trump insurgency to the Trump insurgency.
Wow.
In
Yeah.
the subtitle.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
here.
and it's in a way, Malcolm, a bunch of mini ones, isn't it? It's right. All these school boards and the Proud Boys are behind a lot of that, and it's like a daily insurgency.
Well, what you have is you have this melange now of the Republican Party, the Proud Boy, in-your-face ideology, and then QAnon have all come together, and they have started segmenting parts of American society that they're going to dismantle. QAnon started up this whole take over the school boards thing. But, QAnon also merged with the anti-maskers and the anti-vaxxers. So we have this entire blend crazy that has them deciding that since they have all these, yoga moms and soccer moms who are now nuts, going to the school board meetings to attack. And this is where I would like to give your audience some advice. Take back your school boards.
Yeah.
If you have an hour to commit to this, it's volunteer. Go in there and show them you're a normal person. Get elected to your school boards. Volunteer for your school boards. Get in there and contradict these people. And I don't want any discussions. I want you to say, those people are crazy. And they're crazy. Stop listening to them.
Shouldn't one of the first things, Malcolm, is there be a rule that you have to have a child that goes there to go to these school board meetings? Obviously, people are just going as provocateurs.
I know. And, you saw that individual in Pennsylvania who said he was going to bring 20 strong men down and physically throw people out. This is brown shirt action.
You would just have parents where we did a story yesterday. Where was it, Travis? Guys with zip ties went into
Arizona.
an elementary school in Arizona.
Are you kidding me?
Because they asked his kid to wear a mask.
That's insane. Yeah, is it those three guys in Florida? But we have story after story.
Yeah.
Look, this is now a national security issue, which is why I'm discussing it. Because what we have is we have an internal rebellion in America, and they are dismantling things which were fundamental. Look, no one paid attention to their school boards. I just send my giant checks in, right? Paying my school taxes every year. I don't have children, but I want the schools to be good. But now we have crazy, literally mentally ill parents who believe in QAnon, Donald Trump, and dismantling the school boards.
Yeah.
You have to go defend them yourselves.
Well, okay, so Andrew McCabe said he's extremely concerned about an upcoming rally in support of January 6th jailed rioters, called on law enforcement to take that threat very seriously. It's this Justice for J6 rally organized by a former Trump campaign staffer, September 18th. McCabe said he views that as a violent threat to Washington. I think they should take it very seriously. In fact, they should take it more seriously than they took the same sort of intelligence they likely saw on January 5th. So... because I know I've heard two different things, like, the certification of the vote was a centralized thing. We may not see a big centralized thing again. It's these mini insurrections all over the place. But what do you think about September 18th in particular?
I think any opportunity that they have to organize and to protest in one spot is an opportunity for them to go to violence. We just saw that the other day in Portland. We saw it in Los Angeles, where journalists were being beaten and hunted down by the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys have had an interesting morphology, so to speak, in the way that they did violence. They started as a street gang. Then last summer, they went up to weapons. They were going around patrolling with weapons. Then after January 6th, they have now gone back to hiding their weapons and just physically beating people that they think are liberals or journalists or progressives. They are looking for trouble. And let me tell you something. Proud Boys have actually expanded in size since January 6th. The average, white bully in the United States now sees themselves as being part of something that they bigger than themselves. And that is essentially being Donald Trump's physical fist-fighting foot soldiers. So all the bikers for Trump and people like that who now want to get into it with progressives, they're going to come out and they're going to literally beat you. Yeah. And this requires a backlash. Now, I'll tell you right now, I'm in touch with people on Washington, D.C. police, emergency services, their special reaction teams and everything. there won't be a January 6th so long as Washington, D.C. police have anything to say about it. They've lost 4 officers to suicides or death in the Capitol event. They are not having it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in D.C. for that protest on the 18th. I don't think it will manifest into anything. It technically is them trying to call the people who were arrested, the 600 arrested, political prisoners. You know, what are they going to be? Vanilla ISIS again? They're going to start busting into prisons and freeing their mujahideen. I mean, these people need to be taken care of in the sense that if they come into D.C., they break laws or they bring firearms like Brendan Tarrio did, they go to jail.
Yeah.
And now people are starting to go to jail.
Yeah, well, good. Hey, I was just thinking, who else said that? The whole, they're political prisoners. Oh, Vladimir Putin said that they're political prisoners. Yeah, that's weird. How he always echoes the right wing here. Yeah. By the way, speaking of all the people that say Ashley Babbitt, that was an unjustified shooting, like Jonathan Turley, you retweeted, and then you said Ashley Babbitt was former USAF security forces. There are literal red lines around the aircraft and base gates, weapons bunkers where she was authorized to shoot to kill if necessary. She decided to cross a red line to overthrow democracy. This was the result. I mean, that we're even still having this conversation, that this was not a justified shooting is just part of the ridiculousness.
Yeah. Well, that was in response to, who is it?
Jonathan Turley, yeah.
Jonathan Turley, who has decided that he is now lawyer for white supremacy. He is the apologist lawyer for white supremacy. And I don't recall hearing him say anything about George Floyd or about Elijah Green or is it Elijah Jones? Or any of the African Americans who were just gunned down for merely existing or murdered for merely existing. You know, the case, I believe it was in Michigan, where the boy had a toy.
Yeah.
And he was like 12 years old, and the policeman shot him before the car had even stopped through his car window.
Yeah.
I don't hear him saying anything about that. There is 2 sets of laws here. Okay? I'm a gun owner. I understand when there are situations where law enforcement may and may not have to shoot. But Ashley Babbitt, as a security policeman in the Air Force, did what we call breaking red. You never break that red line. They will either tackle you, but if you continue, they are authorized to shoot you dead. Try this at Joint Base Andrews, where Air Force One is stationed. Mm-hmm. Try crashing the front gate. They won't chase you. They will gun you down.
Yeah.
They may take you into custody, but let me tell you something. If it looks like you're a real threat, and that's what this officer saw was a threat to the red line against democracy, they are going to use and are authorized to use lethal force.
Yeah.